She pushed past him only to be grabbed by the arm and pulled close to him. Without another word, the prince embraced her and kissed her on her soft pink lips. He pulled away after a moment, looking into her very shocked expression. Princess Bailey, you're very different from other princesses. He released her, but she didn't back away, still trying to comprehend what just happened. I offered you a servant. You turned her away. I asked you to leave the palace with me, and you refused that as well. Any other woman I've met would love these things. But you seem almost uninterested. Why is that? She was silent for a moment, still stunned by the kiss. I agree that most women would enjoy those gifts, but I see no reason for such things. She took a step away from him. I'm the daughter of my realm's beloved king. She shrugged her slender shoulders. Really, what more could I ask for? He smiled. You are a strange one, princess. They started walking again, soon coming to the end of the archway. She was confused that he would get angry at her, kiss her, call her strange, then act as if nothing were wrong. Your mood swings are confusing. He chuckled. You're the first to say that as well. Well, to my face anyway. I'm sure it's been said before behind my back. I've got a feeling that I've said a lot of things about you, to you, that others wouldn't dare. Her smile fell as she looked once more to his face. She didn't have a response to that. He didn't have a response to that. A small smile replaced her grimace. Do you know how to impress me? It will be nice, he sighed. Be kind and patient with your servants, and those of lower rank than yourself. She looked up to meet his eyes. Treat them with dignity, as a human should be treated. That's all. He once more again was surprised by her, but she only asked for this. She was definitely not like the other princesses. Be nice to the servants. Simple enough. Fair enough, he nodded. And if you start treating them with respect and not plague-ridden rats, then I'll go out with you. She thought she would regret saying that, knowing he would put on an act and only be kind to them in her presence. Agreed. I'll not abuse the staff when you will accompany me on a date. He held out his hand for hers, and she took it in a handshake before he pressed his lips to the back of her hand with a smirk. And as a man of my word, I must do as we have agreed. He returned his attention to her beautiful face. And you, princess, should return to your quarters and find a different gown. And why would I do that? She took back her hand. I happen to like this dress. Yes, it's lovely, but if you're going to a ball with me, you will need a dress fit for dancing. He was right. The training for her gown was much too long, and she would trip if she tried to dance while wearing it. And what ball are you taking me to? She hadn't heard of anyone giving a ball and thought maybe he was just making this up. The Royal Spring Ball, held in my palace once a year. He looked at her, slightly confused. You haven't heard? I know it's... I sent King Victor an invitation weeks ago. He shook his head. No matter. You will go with me, as your escort, right? I will certainly go, but as for having you as my escort, perhaps not. You have yet to prove to me that you can be civil towards your servants. That was our deal. Yes, I know, but come with me anyway. I'm sure you will enjoy yourself either way, but a princess should have an escort to such events. All right, she sighed. But you must promise to keep your word, even outside my presence. Yes, I agree. He was losing what little patience he had left. Now will you go with me? Yes, I will. She was reluctant to answer. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's getting late and I must return to my room to find a suitable dress for tomorrow night. She turned back the way they came. I'll go with you and come get you tomorrow evening when all preparations are complete. I don't see why you need to be walking me back, but all right. She didn't want to start an argument and too tired to argue back. He gently took her hand as they made their way back to the palace's second story. What is the ball about? Never heard of it till just now. It's to celebrate my kingdom's prosperity and the end of the harsh winter. Well, it used to be about that. He rolled his eyes. Now it's about meeting high-ranking people, drinking and abusing their servants. He frowned. Sounds about right. Her own expression fell. Anyway, the celebration and feasting represents our prosperity through the past year. There are actually 2 balls. One in the spring and one in the night of the harvest moon. He faced her as they walked. Tomorrow it's the spring ball, and many important people will, such as your father and yourself. A celebration of wealth, then. She showed no interest in the subject. Exactly, he smiled faintly. I may not go then. She sighed as a frown crossed her face. Why not? It's still a good time, even with the presence of politicians and Neanderthals. I suppose you're right. Her smile returned at his words. So are you still coming with me? He sounded more hopeful than he wanted to. I already said I would. Her smile brightened. Excellent. We'll make a fine couple. His smile grew. Couple? She asked, looking a bit confused. Yes, a couple. Dancing partners. He clarified. Oh, I see. She nodded. That was too close, he thought to himself as they walked back to the princess's chambers.